It is a gorgeous Monday out there. Plenty of sunshine, very warm temperatures, and we're going to keep that around for a better part of the week. I'll break it all down coming up for you.
The man wanted for shooting and killing his stepfather in London over the weekend was arrested by police late last night. Coming up, you'll hear from him from jail.
And first at 4, an Amber Alert has been canceled after a missing child is found in Tennessee.
WKYT News starts now with breaking news.
Good afternoon to you. Amber Philpott reporting a missing 4-year-old Florida girl and her alleged kidnapper have been found in Memphis. About 2:30 this morning, many of us woke up to a mobile Amber Alert. It has now been canceled. 4-year-old Rebecca Lewis was reported missing by family members after she disappeared from her Florida home Saturday morning. Officials with the Memphis Police Department said the vehicle of 31-year-old West Hoggs was spotted and pulled over about noon. Rebecca Lewis was found safe while Hoggs was taken into custody. We'll have much more on the situation ahead for you on WKYT News at 5. We are certainly enjoying another stretch of gorgeous fall weather, but how long will it stick around? We want to check in now with meteorologist Jim Caldwell. It is perfect out there today, sir.
It really is, as we rally back into the low 70s with all the sunshine helping us out. I mean, look at the sky cam. It is hard to find any cloud cover anywhere, even the high, thin stuff. It's hard to find. I mean, just another gorgeous day here with temperatures in Lexington right now at 70 degrees, and that's coming in with a northeasterly wind that's a little breezy at times, around 10 miles per hour. Humidity down tremendously as well at 39%. Here's a look area wide. Now we do see some clouds off to our south. That's where we find them, into Danville, Somerset, Monticello, upper 60s, low 70s, of course, showing up in all of those locations. And as we look ahead here by 8 o'clock, I think we're probably down to around 57 degrees, and we're generally clear as we head into the day tomorrow, though. We'll see temperatures back in the 70s. I'll break it all down a little more into town, show you a little change later on in the 7-day coming up in just a few minutes.
A man suspected of killing his stepfather in Laurel County says he did it and that he has no regrets. John Stricker was arrested overnight in London, where he is charged with murder. He says that he shot Donnie Stone several times at a home on Middle Ground Road. Today, Stricker told our Hillary Thornton why he did it from jail. It's our top story now at 4.
The 35-year-old is now here at the Laurel County Detention Center, and we just spoke to him from inside of the jail. He says after shooting Donnie Stone early Sunday morning, he then went to hide out at a friend's house, which is where police arrested him late last night.
London police say early Sunday morning, Donnie Stone was found shot several times inside his Middle Ground Way home. Their Stone's wife told officers her son, John Stricker, was responsible. Family members say Stricker has a history of mental illness and had stopped taking his medication. Police searching for Stricker much of Sunday, finding him overnight at a home in Clay County. Stricker admitting he shot Stone 5 times, saying he was given confidential orders to do so by the military.
Shot him today at 2:25 a.m. that morning for his death.
And then where'd you go?
To my friend's house.
Is that where police found you?
I have no clue how they found me.
Do you regret at all what you did?
No.
Neighbors living around that house where police say the shooting happened say they are relieved to know that Stricker has been caught and is now here at the jail. In Laurel County, Hillary Thornton, WKYT.
A not guilty plea was entered for Stricker today in court. His bond is set at $250,000 cash with a condition of home incarceration. We are working on a number of other stories for you on WKYT starting at 4:30. Our Barbara Bailey joins us now from the newsroom with a look at some of the news in progress. Hi, Barb.
Hi, Amber. In our news, the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office is investigating a deadly crash. It happened shortly after 8 o'clock this morning on Camargo Road in Mount Sterling. They say an elderly woman was headed home toward Camargo when a man headed toward Mount Sterling crossed the center line, hitting her car head on. That woman died on the scene. The man was taken to St. Clair with non-life-threatening injuries. Neither the identity of the victim nor the cause of the crash has been released yet. EKU police have given the all clear after issuing a campus alert this morning. That alert was sent out shortly before 6 a.m. after Richmond police found a victim with multiple stab wounds near the intersection of Madison and Summit near Eastern's campus. Police say they are not sure where the original incident took place, but they think it was a home invasion type robbery. EKU students we talked with say they're grateful that their school keeps them informed when emergency situations happen.
I think that it's good that our school tells us about these things, so I'm lucky that I go to a school where we're told what's going on.
We'll have more on that alert on WKYT News at 4:30, including the condition of the victim. That's a look at some of the news in progress. Amber, back to you now.
Barbara, thank you. Now to some stories making headlines across the nation at 4. The storm that was Hurricane Matthew is gone, but the effects of the storm are still being felt. Today, the U.S. storm-related death toll rose to at least 20, and that is as more flooding is expected in parts of the South over the next several days. Steve Nannis has this report.
This is an extremely dangerous situation.
Flooding from the rivers has been unfortunate, and what we are seeing is just a lot of damage.
Officials warning the effects of what was Hurricane Matthew are not over yet. Thousands are currently stranded in the town of Lumberton, North Carolina, after floodwaters rose rapidly overnight.
Most of the water is about knee deep, but we do have people on the roofs as we speak, and we have a lot of helicopters and boats that have been deployed that are at this point in time rescuing them.
At least 20 people have been killed by the storm in the U.S. Others are still missing. The latest fatality occurring after a person drove onto a flooded road in North Carolina and was swept away.
I cannot stress more. If you see a road that's flooded, do not take your car through that road. If you see a barrier, do not go around that barrier. This is a life and death decision.
And officials warning that more flooding is on the way.
The people who live near rivers, streams, and levees need to be extremely careful as flooding is expected throughout the coming week.
What is not flooded today could be flooded tomorrow.
And as local officials continue their cleanup and rescue efforts, the White House releasing a statement Monday saying President Obama has directed all necessary federal resources be directed to help the affected states. In Washington, I'm Steve Nannis.
Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump traded attacks in last night's bitter debate. Trump hit Clinton on her use of a private email server, while Secretary of State saying she would be in jail if he was president. Clinton declared Trump's vulgar comments about women in a recently released tape prove that he is unsuitable to hold the office. The two candidates will face off for a third and final debate. That will be on October 19th. Why some Americans are willing to take a pay cut. That's ahead in Money Watch. And Facebook looks to improve inter-office communication at work. We'll show you how.
WKYT News and weather updates on 98.1 The Bull. Keep up with the latest news on WKYT.com. Join the conversation on Twitter and become a part of the WKYT Facebook family.
Samsung's Galaxy Note 7 nightmare keeps getting worse. That begins today's Money Watch. Samsung Electronics has temporarily suspended its production. Plus, AT&T and T-Mobile said they would stop offering replacements for the phone. This all comes after reports of the phones catching on fire. Samsung officially recalled the phones last month, blaming faulty batteries. Replacements were supposed to solve the problem, but customers have been reporting the same dangerous problems. We're going to have more on how Samsung's problems have affected people here in the Bluegrass. That's coming up for you on WKYT News at 5:30. EpiPen maker Mylan agreed to pay $465 million to settle with the federal government. Mylan was accused of falsely classifying EpiPens as generic drugs, which lets it pay a smaller rebate to Medicaid programs. Milan said the proposed settlement resolves all potential government claims. It's not an admission, though, of guilt. When it comes to work schedules, most Americans say Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 is best. That's according to researchers from Harvard and Princeton who surveyed people currently employed or in the job market. It also found that some are willing to take up to a 21% pay cut to work from home. It's Facebook versus Microsoft in the office. Facebook's new Facebook at Work service launches today. It's called Workplace. It looks just like your personal Facebook, but you'll need a separate login to use the platform to communicate with coworkers and in some cases be more effective than you can be on traditional email.
We are putting a little magic back into play. I'm Deanne Stevens, out and about at the all-new Magical Toy Shop today.
And we are tracking some weather magic out there today as well. We're back in the 70s, and that's going to stick around through the middle of the week. A fantastic run of the weather world. I'll track it coming up for you.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Jim Caldwell.
Very pleasant out there for you on this Monday. Highs are back in the 70s again in most locations. We still have a few 60s that are creeping in on our temperature map. You can see a lot of those are mainly to our south and east. That's the best concentration of them. But, you know, you get Danville to my west, southwest, that's at 68. But you see more 60s that are showing up out there. Mount Sterling, Moorhead, Jackson, all very pleasant and around normal for this time of year. This is not around normal for this time of year. The 30-degree club showing up again this morning in all of these locations. You had Cynthiana, Richmond at 38 degrees. McKee, Stanford, Richmond, and Whitley City down there in McCrae County all at 39 degrees. And there are a few other spots we kind of popped up out there as well, especially in some of those sheltered valleys in eastern Kentucky. But those are just some of the early morning readings we found in the 30s, so quite the chill in the air. Some of the higher thin clouds have been showing up in southern parts of Fayette County, and you also see some of the thicker clouds, the brighter whites, also to our south along Interstate 75 and then also into Pulaski County there as well. Let's open the door up and see what's happening with our hour-by-hour forecast. We have high pressure sitting to our north that's giving us more of a northeasterly wind today, but by 11 o'clock tonight it's shifting a little bit, pumping in more of a warmer air mass for the afternoon and evening hours for you on Wednesday. And we have a frontal boundary that's also on the move as well. We get into Thursday at this point. We're early on Thursday. You can see the showers showing up. Now watch what happens with the rain. It starts pushing into Kentucky, and then it starts kind of eroding away from the south to the north along that boundary. We will still have a few showers around here on Thursday, but I think, for the most part, we are going to get away with a good-looking day there as well. With, again, another cool air mass that will kind of shift into the region, knocking daytime highs down again, because we're probably into the mid-70s here on Wednesday, but then Thursday, we're into the mid-60s in most cases. But it won't last a long period of time because we will see that air mass retreat again. Only a couple of days worth of it out of that. Here's just how much rainfall we're talking about. I've already ran it all the way out to midnight Thursday as we're getting the day going. Watch here. Very unimpressive. I mean, very unimpressive. So overall, a very dry frontal boundary passage with that particular system as we're looking at midnight there on beginning on Friday, and then a little more shower activity, certainly a possibility out there. Let's break our 7-day forecast down for you. Mostly sunny tomorrow. Wednesday, still very nice, getting more of a southerly breeze coming into play, maybe a little gusty at times. It's not nothing too impressive. 76 degrees for your high. And then we're down with those shower chances around here. Mainly dry on Friday, though I keep a 10% mention, and I even should call it mainly dry because there is the potential for some moisture trying to come together out there. So a little more activity could certainly be in the area. But all in all, not a bad looking 7-day. And let's check and see how bad or good traffic's looking out there with Officer Don.
Well, overall, we're okay. There are no collisions right now working. Just check Nicholasville Road, Harrodsburg, and the Circle. So it takes us to our drive times this afternoon. To Nicholasville, about normal, about 17 minutes. To Paris, it'll take about 20 from Lexington. Looks like to Mount Sterling, about 29. And to Richmond, still about 22 minutes across the Clays Ferry Bridge. Now back to you in the studio.
Officer Don, thank you. There's a new place in town hoping to add a little magic to your day. It's called the Magical Toy Shop. Deanne Stevens is out and about. She joins us from there with more. Hi, Deanne.
Hey, good afternoon, guys. We are putting a little magic back into play here at the brand new Magical Toy Shop right off of Main Street here in Lexington. Am I wearing it right there,
Yes,
Rebecca?
you are. Yes, you are.
Rebecca is with us from the Magical Toy Shop. We even got little helper Emmy over here. I've walked in and I've gone crazy. I mean, I guess it's been a little bit since I've been in a toy shop. This is such a fun place. You guys just opened. Tell us what made you open the Magical Toy Shop.
Shopping for toys for my girls. I was dissatisfied with the selections, and I wanted a place for them to have fun and it be an experience, both for parents, for kids, for everyone.
And you said you also wanted some of it to be educational, and you guys, you've done that here. Tell us about the blocks and the different things that you're carrying now.
So the blocks, these are Uncle Goose blocks made in Michigan, out of Michigan Brasswood. They are all natural, handcrafted. We have blank ones that you can paint for your nursery, for parties. We also have Chinese blocks, Hebrew blocks, just about anything you would want to do.
Right, yeah, anything the kids would want to do too, and the moms, right? Help out with those.
Yeah.
Now, what about these beautiful little dolls and items?
We have a very large selection of Corel baby dolls, Manhattan Toy, the baby Stella, the little peas in the pods. Yes. Since everyone, I feel like I just had twin nieces, so I had to get the twin pea in the pods.
Great little gifts for the little ones. Now, this is like the infant room, and I was asking you earlier about these little items because I told you, I said I had a little bear that I carried around as a kid called Sweetie Bear. Now you know. Anyway, and it was so much like this, but these are a little different.
Yes, these are the all-new natural teething toys for babies. They are made out of natural rubber trees. There is such a thing, which sounds crazy.
Yeah, I was like, what?
But these are the new natural teethers for parents that want something a little bit safer for their kids.
And I love that it goes along with a book because when you're giving a gift, I love to give a book with a toy.
I do too. I love books. I love reading to kids, so it was very important that we found those.
Yeah, you all, and listen, you got to check out the Magical Toy Shop. Emmy, have you found a costume yet?
I like this butterfly one.
Oh, it's beautiful. Well, I like what you found for your head, too. She and I are matching. Now, coming up at 4:50, we're going to move into the larger room, the front of the Magical Toy Shop, where they've got all kinds of things for the older kids as well. Located on East Main Street, Clay Avenue, and Main Street here in Lexington. I'm Deanne Stevens, out and about having a ball at the toy shop. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Deanne. A new drug could do wonders for patients suffering from head and neck cancer. The details in Better Living. Tomorrow night's Mega Millions jackpot is $49 million, and Wednesday night's Powerball jackpot is $107 million. It is time now for Better Living, health, education, and consumer news that impacts your life. Nestle has issued a voluntary recall of its drumstick ice cream cones. The drumsticks may be contaminated with listeria. The recall includes the 16-count variety pack and the 24-count vanilla pack. And the U.S. Department of Agriculture says Kraft Heinz Company is recalling nearly 1,000 pounds of Lunchables. The ham and American cracker stackers were misbranded and may not notify customers of possible allergens. There's new hope for patients with hard-to-treat head and neck cancer. Researchers say an immunotherapy drug could be a game changer for patients suffering with a relapse of head and neck cancer. A New England Journal of Medicine study found more than double the number of patients were alive after taking the drug for 1 year compared to patients treated with chemotherapy. Patients also reported fewer serious side effects. The cost of treating breast cancer with chemotherapy varies widely, even when the treatments have similar effectiveness. That's according to new research published in the journal Cancer. The study also found patients are often left with significant out-of-pocket costs. And the number of children around the world with health problems linked to obesity will skyrocket in the coming decade. Scientists estimate as many as 12 million children will have pre-diabetes and 4 million will have type 2 diabetes in 2025. Stress doesn't just affect adults. Changes in your child's behavior could be a sign that they're feeling pressure as well. Melissa Rainey has tips on what to look for.
Stress can affect anyone who feels overwhelmed, including kids. Here are a few signs for parents to look out for. Negative changes in behavior. For younger kids, withdrawal from their favorite activities, becoming clingy to a parent, or even a sudden change in their appetite are all red flags. Becoming hostile towards family and abandoning friendships are more common signs among teens. Interaction with others. How your child interacts with others outside of the home can indicate if stress is a factor. Experts say a good way for parents to tap into their child's behaviors is communicating with each other, teachers, and coaches. Listen to your child. Kids may often express how overwhelmed they are with words like angry or annoyed, or speak negatively about themselves. Parents should keep an ear out for keywords or phrases that may indicate a source of stress. Seek support. Parents should know that tackling the stress in their child's life is not something they have to do alone. Licensed therapists can provide the support and guidance their child needs. For today's Health Minute, I'm Melissa Rainey.
This weekend, you could run or walk to help make sure life-saving screenings are available to women to help prevent breast cancer. This weekend, the St. Joseph Hospital Foundation is hosting its second annual Yes Ma'am 5K on Saturday morning at R.J. Corman Railroad Group in Nicholasville. The Yes Ma'am program provides mammography screening and testing for the underinsured. The race begins at 9. To register, you can go to KentuckyOneHealth.org/YesMa'am5K. All right, let's head over to Jim for another check of this gorgeous afternoon on this Monday.
It is a gorgeous one, and the gorgeous nature of this forecast is going to stick around for most of our week here. As we look ahead, we're talking about a lot of sunshine and very comfortable stuff. It's a dry and sunny run for the most part. Now, we do have some rain chances in there, but they're not overwhelming. Temperatures are going to stay above average, I think, for a few days at least. And then a fall front moves in on Thursday. That would be a small rain chance for us. Only some clouds showing up on our Defender radar network, which also is including the satellite data as well. And you can see some thicker bands probably moving through southern portions of Kentucky, basically south of Lexington all the way up to the Kentucky-Tennessee state line. It's 70 right now in Lexington, and as we progress through the rest of the evening here, you'll see a temperature around 57 at 8 o'clock, into the low 50s at 11. And then we're in the mid-40s, I think, tomorrow morning, and then we're off to the races again with highs back into the 70s for us once we cross over into the afternoon and into the evening. Another 73-degree day looks absolutely spectacular with low humidity showing up out there again for us. So a good-looking run here for the first couple of days of the week. We've got a whole lot more coming up for you at 4:30. Here's a look.